for a whole week and a half straight, wrist wearable devices. I called it. I told you guys it would timber, and that's exactly what it did. Now look at it. I called this for a whole week and a half straight. June 8th, I said that it was going to tank. I went public with this. So think about that for a second. The fact that I went public and the fact that it did exactly what I thought it was going to do, it completely tanked. I reminded everyone today that it tanked. But why am I so confident about this? What happened to where a guy like me, I'm not no Wall Street guy. I'm no, greatest hedge fund manager ever. I'm not saying I never will be, but why am I so confident? And why did it do exactly what I thought it was going to do, which is timber? It fell from the top of the mountain, and it just crumbled all over. Now, recently, wrist wearable devices was in the news. They had a partnership with Apple. Apple's new watch that came out. Apple just had a great event. They had some things that had to do with virtual reality, AR, where you can basically touch and move things with eye signal, hand signal, hand waves, and that's kind of where wrist wearable devices comes in. It's because the wearable devices, they have a watch or a band that you can signal different hand motions to control whatever device it's connected to. So they just had a recent partnership. This stock spiked, 400% since, later May. And so it was going crazy. Everyone else went crazy too. But I seen through all the BS, like I always do. It's really simple, okay? What goes up must come down. And what goes down must go up. So I seen this. I seen the news. I seen the hype. And yeah, I didn't catch it on the upside. But I'm definitely catching it on the downside. As you can see, I still have my position where I bought or I sold short, right? And I had my stop and I had where I was going to get out. So today, it finally got to that point. And, it's cool, $1,300, added to the portfolio. But how did I see this, right? How did I see that coming? Well, for the past decade, I've been trading stocks. I've seen multiple penny stocks go through the roof, and I've seen almost all of them go down. So if I can see that, why not trade in that direction? Especially if I missed the upside. I missed the news. The news came out, and later it did great numbers that same day. The news came out about Apple on the 25th of May, and that same day it just did great numbers, and it continued to go up. So, how did I see this going down? I started to look at hourly charts and say, hey, all right, eventually, this is going up and down, up and down, up and down. It's climbing. But as soon as it breaks a certain point, that's when you can basically short sell. You can grab some shares and borrow some shares of short. And then you buy back right here. And then you claim the difference. And you kind of draw this trend line right here to identify when that breaking point happens. And usually when prices, they will fluctuate, but they'll create a trend like you see right here. There's a small, cool trend that started where it will bounce. And then it'll keep bouncing. Let me lock this in for a second. It'll keep bouncing. All right, you got it right there. You got another bounce right there. Boom. And then it tried to do it again. What you have right there. It broke through. There was a little bleed. Then it went up again. And then finally broke through. And then the rest is history. Timber. So, also, there's some underlying factors, too. If you look at kind of how the company's performed in the last year or so, you'll see that this is a recent IPO. There's a lot of speculation with IPOs right now. And then you also look at how the company has struggled since it IPO'd. It only made $45,000 in revenue, and that's against a net loss of $6.5 million. So it's not even profitable at that. Yes, that partnership with Apple is going to do any penny stock like this. But what I've learned through time, people, is that these things must come down. They have to. If you are believing that this is going to be the next Microsoft, you are mistaken. And I say this about many penny stocks. And you can call me a skeptic. You can call me pessimistic. But when it comes to the penny stock world, I am good at it. I know these things. This is why I've been in the game for 10 years and successful. And this is why I keep, growing my portfolio. Now, if you guys just listen to the simple things, like what goes up must come down, you can win too. And there's a lot of other factors that goes into it. I mean, they're once they got that spike, they started pumping more news about how they're using AI, right? They're trying to grab the AI spin because AI is super popular right now, and say that they're introducing an algorithm that's going to help the product learn better gestures so you can control your movements on a watch or on your wrist. That's all fine and dandy, right? But these things are just speculation. It's just introducing it. It's not actually happening yet. And it doesn't last with stocks. All right, some news will propel it, but it doesn't mean it's going to sustain that growth. And I knew that. It rose too sharply. It didn't gradually rise to this point. It did this in a manner of weeks. Literally weeks. If we change it to weeks, I mean, in 2 weeks, it rose up close to 400%. That's insane. Just like when it IPO'd and it became a public stock, it did not sustain that. People knew that this company wasn't that valuable. And I said the same exact thing on Twitter. I just didn't understand why people thought it was valuable. And I called out these bag holders who just believed in the stock because they have some type of guru shooting them lies. Really just lying to them. Just blatantly lying to people. Saying this is the next big thing and people are buying it up. And these are smart people. These are people who are doctors, dentists, scientists. They're listening to these people on Wall Street in these boiler rooms telling them what to do. Telling them that this is going to be the next biggest thing. We've seen Wolf on Wall Street. Nothing against, those boiler people. I know what they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing, and I play it on both sides. If I see a penny stock pumping some news with a bigger company, I can buy on the upside, and I can short on the downside. You can play both hands. It's not about you being a bear or bull and sticking to that, but you can be both. So, I hope you guys are paying attention to how the market moves and how manipulation works. And on the other hand, you have IWM, the small cap market, getting ready to start making some new highs, just like the SPY is getting ready to hit some new highs here soon. And the Qs getting ready to get back to the top. The market is doing great. Don't believe the main media. Because it's just, last week, Bloomberg finally announced that what we've been knowing for weeks and months at a time, that we are back in a bullish market. And everybody's crying for this crash. And I don't know if it's going to happen, but the probability says it's not. I mean, look at that. It's crazy. But I want you guys to pay attention to how the market moves. And especially when it comes to the penny stocks in the small cap market. Manipulation, but you got to learn how to play the manipulation and see it for what it really is. You got to see it for what it really is. Because if you don't, you're going to be blinded by some guru or by Jim Cramer, the world's greatest stock picker. And that is definitely sarcasm, because we both know We all know that Jim Cramer sucks at picking stocks. He's one of the worst analysts. So you guys keep paying attention. You keep subscribing to the channel. I make sure y'all give me a like, share, subscribe. Go ahead and turn on that notification button so you know every time I upload new content, ready for you to digest and ready for you to take it to the next level. Also, follow me on other social medias. I am on Twitter a lot with my stock analysis. Also in my community as well. Not that community, but this community, YMC, Young Money Community. For all my young money people who are not rich. I ain't talking about age, but the young money, the new money. You trying to grow that new money. You may have a small account. You can join our stock and options community. We also talk about crypto as well. We share our profits and our losses because we keep it real, and you can ask anything. We even have off topics, especially when the playoffs come around for the NBA, NFL. Doesn't matter what it is. Be a part of a community can help you propel your stock trading to the next level. And if not, you can do it by yourself. It's just going to take a little bit longer, and that's fine. Because I did it by myself for a little bit, but then I had some friends who came along the journey, and things got a little bit more easy, a lot more easier, because I just didn't have one mind. I had many. You guys, make sure y'all give me a like, share, subscribe. If you are just too busy to trade and you don't want to do it manually, you can use artificial intelligence. We have an app out, and then you can join the community. But follow me on other social medias. Tune in with me. I hope this video helped. I see you guys next week.